Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Speed Gaming. Tonight we're bringing you a matchup in the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring 2020 Tournament. It's a 1v1 format, and we're in Week 2, featuring two 1 and 0 runners. Tonight we've got guda632 versus darindrise. I'm here in the booth as Cheesinator, and my co-commentator tonight is Hangry Canuck. What's up?
Not a thing. Not liking the black belt, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it came out of a party draft. Our runners decided to do something spicy. Darindrise led off with a white mage. Guda gave him the old thief red mage middle picks, and then Darren closed it out with a black belt. So that's going to be probably our primary melee tonight. Going to make for some interesting strats. We'll certainly need to see a grind at least once.
Oh, alright. I'm going to let our runners out the gate here, so...
Big thing to look forward to in this flag set. This is this Earth week of the Spring Tournament flag, so we do have an incentive Earth Cave. And additionally, early in the game, we're going to need to find a loose canal, probably, to make our progression. So we'll see the runners digging for that in the first few dungeons. Other things to note, we've got a free ship, we got 5% experience per key item, and bosses scale to 230%, so they can be pretty tough. We'll have to see how that rolls at the end of the game.
I forgot I was tracking for a minute. I had to set the things up here.
Oh, of course. Behind the scenes, the gate's been let down, and yeah, the runners are off on their way, so we're going to check out the magic shops in Canaria to start, as is the standard opening. Level 1 white magic, we're seeing life and heal 3 both available to the red mage, which means they've got double heal 3, double life already. But the black magic is really good too. Fire 3 Quad X lock. So it might be a little hard to pick what goes on that red mage. I certainly would want the life and the fire 3, and then it's kind of a toss-up because Quad X has a lot of utility too. And beyond that, lock, there's another lock in the game, there's lock 2, but these flags have lock fixes, which means that spell always hits and reduces enemy evade by 20, and it could be very important in the late game.
Yeah, I don't like Darindrise's Thief's chances. He named it Canuck, so it's probably going down early.
And speaking of going down early, we saw, I believe that was stare or glare. There was some kind of eye attack that just came out of the imps and one-shot one of Guda's party members.
But Guda's up in TOFR now, so we're going to get a look at these chests if he can run away from a spider. There's a reason to keep your thief alive in the first chest.
Yeah, that could present some tension. Katana's worth a lot at the vendor shop, and if they don't have much gold, you might see them sell it, because ultimately you're still trying to win with the black belt, so a promoted ninja's damage isn't going to be as relevant. And it is indeed stare, not glare on the imps. Stare is a time elemental attack that does like 40 to 60 damage-ish.
Still bad enough at level 1. Looks like Guda's going to wipe out Garland here with a little Quad X.
That's nice and straightforward, but we are going to want to pick that black belt back up. Definitely not danning it today, at least not that I can think.
One useful item, one not so useful item right away.
Yeah, that's a vanilla loot coming from Sarah, but King hands us Canoe, so suddenly the canal can be in more than just the first 18 chests. It can be in the entirety of Volcano or Ice as well. And Canal might even not be our progression. We could find a floater somewhere in the inner sea, and that combined with the Canoe would get us airborne.
Yeah, so I'm thinking you're probably not going to see Marshgate tonight, folks.
Yeah, there's a tiny chance there could be a required loose item in there. We're going to be looking for 2 loose incentives that are not the canal, but they might not be required. Really just depends on how that item layout rolled.
Guda sold the katana already.
And I think that's a great play, honestly.
For 30k, yeah, it's not a bad one.
Plus there's a second katana in the game if you're really desperate for one, but you're just as likely to find Maza, and you can equip that pre-promotion, which is probably the state you'll be in with a black belt that doesn't really want to promote.
It looks like darindrise was trying to punch Garland there for a minute. He must have forgot he had Quad X.
Interesting. Let's see if when Guda passes by this resurrection shop here. Actually, no, he's even got the spell life, so if he really wanted the black belt up, he could, but he might be keeping it down, and as Asher in chat points out, maybe saving the black belt until it is truly time to grind it, and in the meantime get more experience on those mages so they can get their magic charges.
Yeah, but you're going to want that black belt to get a few levels, because it'll make the grind with him easier as well.
Very true, very true. Taking on the pirates here, this is a pretty free encounter as long as you have any area of effect damage. The pirates, they can only attack you. Pirates are safe nowadays in the randomizer tournaments.
Yeah, white magic is really nice early with seed. No, I don't know where Life 2 is going to land, but...
Vicky decided the life of plundering from the royalty is no longer for him, so gives back that crown that he stole from the king, and we're going to go return it. And I'm sure the kindly king will have just the happiest greeting for us.
Yeah, he'll probably be happy to see his crown. Whether he'll be happy to see us bringing him the crown is a different story.
I do like this early magic for a lot of reasons. One of the things that's great is if you've got a black belt, you're trying to win the game with the black belt, the only thing you need to do to beat the game is grind it and keep it alive. You don't need anything else. Like, you can win without fast, temper, and all that other stuff. You just need to keep it alive. So with the white mage and the red mage having all that defensive magic, I think that's going to be no problem.
Yeah, but we'll see if they decide to go black belt grind. I mean, if the magic is really good, and you change your ninja, your thief to a ninja, and you gotta swing in a maza or a katana, I mean, you know, you could pretty much take it out like that as well.
Yeah, the thief can certainly bring the offense.
And you gotta watch black belt strats, because the grind is tricky. You gotta find just the right tile. And if you don't come across the right tile till late, well, I don't know how good it's going to go for you. Alright, looks like Guda is going to sail to turn in his crown here.
Yeah, with all that money we got from the katana, we should also be able to get all the magic from Elfland in one shot. And hey, we're taking that herb there anyways. But the magic in Elfland can roll really expensive in this flag set. You can be spending like 5 or 6k per spell at the...
Ooh, Astos is over 300 HP. Astos could be a mean one.
Yeah, he can't roll too much over 300, so if we can get about 50 more damage in, I think that Quad X is going to land.
But then again, Astos has some bizarre magic defense too, so he could just be resisting the Quad X.
No, it's not resistible unless you actually resist the death element. You just need to be at 299 HP or less, and there we go.
Looks like darindrise has taken the money. Looks like he's saving that katana though. He hasn't sold it yet. He's taking the money he found from Atoya and heading back to Zags with Quad X.
Wow, they're firing back the same magic we got.
See, we got Gregory Puff in the chat. He's here to watch the black belt strats. The black belt master, self-proclaimed.
So Guda is making much quicker work of the inner seas so far, just as far as being efficient, going to places only once. Selling that katana enabled him to get everything he needed in Provoca the first time, whereas you're already seeing darindrise double dip the town. So we're getting through here. Oh, looks like we got a key, because Guda's wrapping around to the Elfland key locks.
Yep, we got ourselves a key, so excuse me. I think it's better for them to do key checks now. See where darindrise decides to go from here. Well, the hags are telling them to go back to the dock. Ooh, brackenice too, not too bad.
A level 4 nuke, and it's cheap too. That's a great pickup. So the red mage is going to get charges for that at level 10, and we'll be cooking with gas.
Looks like we're getting some bridge cutscene here.
The characters that have been alive and or dead have been very interesting so far. Like, they all could be alive. We have got 2 life casters, but we've selectively been leaving 1 or 2 dead, it looks like, and Darren's in fact getting into a little bit of trouble here with just this pack of Caribs on the Inner Sea River by Astos. Had to reset all the way to Canaria, you hate to see that. Alright, first grind tile check of the game. This is really important if you want that black belt to succeed, and this is not a solo grind, but this is worth a lot of experience if you can get through the fight, and with them doing 150 damage a pop, might not see them get through. The regular vampires have low HP, which is a good sign. If there can be some turn order, maybe Guda can clean this up.
There's no cleaning that up.
I think if you have every light warrior up so that the front row can take punches, and you can get like a fire 3 and maybe some kind of harm spell. I don't know if we've seen a harm spell yet for the white mage. No, I haven't seen any harm. Okay. So yeah, I gotta get 2 fire 3s off that roll well and get turn order. And look, the thief just surprised him. So this is super doable, I think.
Yeah, this would be good levels even just for all 4 immediately.
Yep. Because this is the Earth Week, there are chances that we got to go into the Earth Cave early. You absolutely want to see levels for that, as well as Ice Cave, because we have that canoe. Ice Cave is never friendly. Yeah, if I were Guda, I would just run outside and use a house, not even use all these heal potions, because you want to secure those levels. You might wipe the next time you take the tile. This is risky.
Yeah, you need turn order in this fight, or all the vampires gotta die, and hardly any of them died.
Oh, he did get some turn order, however the wizard vampire is still up, so it's got to use a script or something. There we go, uses flash. We can still do this. Alright, all the XP piles onto the red mage, rockets all the way up to level 13. That's, I think maybe 2 or 3 nuke charges already.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing, for sure. Nuke will wipe out the vampires pretty much easier.
Darindrise still rocking 2 light warriors. I wonder when someone else is going to come back up. It could be that he just wants to funnel experience onto the red mage like we've been talking about. But it's hard to figure out who to know to juggle with this kind of party comp early. You don't have a fighter that's sort of your clear early game leader. The thief helps you run, but won't deal you any damage. The white mage helps keep you alive, but is also not dealing damage.
Question in chat. Space Drake, no. darindrise is just arriving at the castle now, but he doesn't have the key, so he won't be checking for now.
Yeah, there's a bit of a back and forth here. Kind of a French vanilla fetch quest chain where you go to the king, he gives you the herbs, so you skip Matoya, take it back, and you get the key from the prince.
Is he actually two-manning this, I wonder? Gonna go Thief, Red Mage?
I can definitely see it based on the white mage not having fade through the first 4 levels. He might say, like, this is going to be the fastest way for him to level the red mage in the early game and then play it safe until he gets a grind, like put all the experience on the one character that matters for the early game, which is that red mage.
Looks like Guda's going for it again. I wonder how high he's going to go here. He probably doesn't want to go too high. If he wants to get charges of magic on that Thief, he's going to want to not go over 15 if he can avoid it.
I don't think you care about magic on the Thief at this point. This series of leveling here against a big party pack like this, where you got to have all your light warriors up, this is your adventuring levels. This is going to make him safe to do all his dives. And then the black belt says loud and clear, hey, you never need to promote. So you're just looking to get your party safe so you can find that grind tile in Ice or Volcano or Earth, and then carry the black belt the rest of the way.
And he's getting some big packs here.
Oof, a high roll on the nuke doesn't even kill the red or the wizard vampire in one shot, but it looks like he will get through this fight. He's got a lot of characters up.
Yeah, I don't think he's worried about levels on the Thief at this point.
Yeah, that Thief, this might be even time for the Thief to stay dead here, now that everyone else is in the teens.
Looks like he's done. He's moving on.
The only thing I gotta say here about what Darindrise is doing is that it's a little too early in the game to go to 2-man strats. You don't quite have a powerhouse red mage yet. The nuke charges haven't come in. And additionally, that Thief doesn't have any caster gear. And if you want to be 2-manning, you want to have the Thief be able to help your clear speed. So he might want to get back to 4 light warriors, give himself better turn order, better run chance, and then switch up his strats after he's seen a little bit more of the game. Alright, clear out key locks. Kind of a bust, though. Honestly, nothing in dwarves.
There's been nothing in any of the key locks, really. It's just all really been money. I mean, we'll see if they go check TOFR key locked, or TOF key locked. Which it looks like Guda is maybe going for after this.
Yeah, and Guda never needs money again. Like, the number of times he took that Edward fan club, or Team Edward fan club, those things give just a pile of gold.
So right about now we're limited to Ice, Fire, and Marsh. Although we haven't seen the Crescent Lake item yet either, so that could be a floater, and that would be just set everything ablaze.
Ooh, expensive gold bracelets, but, you know, with that much money, yeah, worth picking up at least one. And also, there's a flame sword in the top right of dwarves, so the red mage has something to swing around if he runs out of magic charges.
Nope, and Guda not going to TOF key locked here, so looks like he's heading for Crescent Lake now.
Yep, understandable. Crescent's got a guaranteed incentive. TOF key locked is a little slow, especially if you run into an unrunnable that you have to get through to see what's in the treasure boxes. We got Volcano on the table. Volcano's got like 20 chests sitting right there in the top.
I mean, he's got the levels for Ice now, he's got Fire 3, he's got Nuke. So Ice shouldn't really be an issue as well, unless he runs against some bad packs, which is possible, because Ice can be Ice.
Yep, another advantage, getting some levels on that white mage. It's not too high yet, but you're a lot closer to if, say, Exit here rolls at level 6, then you get charges for that at 16, and Exit can be really pivotal for speeding up these early dungeons.
Still haven't seen a vendor item yet, so that could be hiding out in on-rack, which we can get to because we do have our boat and our canoe.
We don't have our canal to get out of the inner sea, so still waiting on that.
Oh, it looks like darindrise might. Is he going to check these tiles? Yep. But I don't think you can two-man the vampires.
He's gonna, if he doesn't run, he's gonna die right here. He does not have enough warriors up. Now let's see
that's not a two-man thing.
Yeah, Chime doesn't do anything for us yet, still can't get out of the inner seas, so it's looking like either the ice incentive or something loose like the canal to just open up all those other places like Ordeals and Waterfall.
Gregory, I don't know what's the deal with the timers actually, but...
It's possible Darren started his timer a little late. I can check against SRL official time. I don't think we're in a situation where there's a minute of lag between the two runners.
Guda632 is right. It's either started his late or maybe it's just a bug.
Right, so Darren is making the gamble on the TOF locked here, which also has a chance for the spike tile to be something tasty. Certainly something more solo grindable with less danger than those vampires. Never mind.
And I think if he finds a grind tile in ice he likes, I think we're going to see a black belt grind.
Yeah, Guda's in pretty good position here. This is an incentive dungeon. Could definitely have our canal. There's nothing saying it has to be in Volcano, even though Volcano has more chests. And there are 4 spike tiles in here. So there's the one on the right in the whole room. There's the one when you drop down. Actually, there's 5. There's the one on the left side of the bottom floor. There's the one on the bottom of the bottom floor. And then there's the one that guards the incentive chest. So really, you got your pick of the litter. There's probably something in here you can grind a black belt on.
And I see they have warp, so... you might not see one of the trap tiles because they're probably going to do the warp trick.
Well, Poison Touch is annoying, but nothing too dangerous here. We got enough Pure Pots to heal it all off. Darindrise, sick of Temple of Fiends locked. He's out. Back to his boat, and where are we going to see him go next? Probably over to the Crescent area.
Yeah, he's either going to have to bring a character back or stop and find a grind tile. Because he's not going to get anywhere with 2 light warriors in these levels.
Absolutely. He could make the Marsh gamble. If he already feels like he's kind of been routing a little slow and playing a little bit from behind, he might decide he needs to go check one of those for Canal to catch up.
Nope, there's a useless item to us right.
Yeah, Ruby is great in this flag set. It does lead to 2 key items if you're not airborne yet. The only problem is you need Canal to get there.
So that canal's floating loose somewhere around here. Now do you take the gamble on Marsh? Because I find more often than not, that's where it ends up. But Guda's going to clear the ice here, so we'll see what's going on.
So unless the sentry rolls real low, that's not a safe grind. Oh, but the canal's right behind it.
That'll speed things up a little. Ouch. Bye-bye, CC. Yeah, he definitely didn't roll low, so he's taken on 2 nukes.
Yeah, plus it's got stun touch. This is just a get away tile.
Good experience if you could take it down, but... But he's got lots of life, and he's got Gear 4 charges, so... It's just a little bump in the road right now.
Alright, looks like Darren's finally making the play to head over to Crescent and start catching up. Now, now that we know for sure that the Canal and Ruby are in ice, that gives Guda a pretty definitive edge because it allows him to go check a bunch of new key items. So Darren's in a position where maybe, you know, Volcano, chest density, look for a loose float or something like that could be his out from our perspective.
Yeah, if Darindrise doesn't go ice right away, he's gonna fall farther and farther behind right now.
But his just doesn't have the levels for ice. He's going to need to maybe take an emergency grind here outside of Crescent. He really needs those nuke charges, and he really needs 2 life casters for the extra safety.
Well, outside Crescent isn't a bad grind spot if you find Peds or something off the reset and they're not dangerous. Gravia Puff, nope. Guda went straight.
Ooh, Stone Touch on the Gurpedes. That's unfortunate. Pretty big enemies, so they're hard to kill, but thankfully only 1 Light Warrior is stoned there. And that's the best one to be stoned. It's the Thief. Just sit there and unstone him at the end of the game.
Yeah, no, they couldn't have picked a better one to hit, for sure. White Shirt's a nice pickup. Your White Mage will be able to use that after class change, and that'll give you a couple of Invis 2s.
Looks like we got Temper is locked out at level 6 for the Red Mage or Wizard, but that's a vanilla lit 3 right there, which the promoted Red Wizard can get. Either way, we're not going to see Temper, but it doesn't matter. We have a black belt.
Yeah, but Darindrise isn't doing black belt strats, I don't think. Not from the looks of this.
I hope he hasn't mind-gamed himself into this. So in the pre-game SRL chat, Guda was talking about how he loves to 2-man Thief Red Mage. I don't know if Darindrise was thinking, oh, well, if Guda's doing that, like, maybe I need to match him, or maybe it's the more efficient way to carry the party. Like, he's got to see that he's got one very viable melee and one very questionably viable melee, and the questionably viable one's the Thief. It's not going to gain HP, and it's not going to get damage till after class change. It's just, I want to see him invest in that black belt sooner rather than later.
Well, Cheese has kind of been in a pickle here. He's got 1 stone, 3 stunned. Kareeb's beating on him like they're going out of style.
Yeah, Kareebs, this is an annoying fight. Fortunately, we're on the overworld, so we can encounter manip our way past this if we're not having fun. Doesn't even save, though. Gets immediately back into another fight.
Nuke should clear this out pretty easily. Ooh, those gators rolled low. Normally gators are tough.
Yeah, I haven't eaten gator personally, but I've heard that it's a pretty tough, gamey meat.
I'd imagine, and Darindrise making a volcano play, which we know lead to the canal, which is what he needs for progression, but there could be a second loose in here somewhere.
Yeah, something like a loose loot or a loose cube, maybe, that's in a place that's not really in path, you know, somewhere on, like, far out of the way on the bottom, or in one of these hairpins, because then Guda might full clear the rest of the game looking for it.
Yeah, he's probably not gonna find a key like a loose in here, but I imagine him.
I certainly don't think he will, but it's his out for now being. I want to say he's 10 plus minutes behind. He doesn't have levels or key items that Guda's got.
Oh yeah, he's easily behind now. I mean, if he's got to do ice next, so. And if Guda keeps going like this, Guda's probably going to know he doesn't even have to touch a chest in Volcano, so he's going to be able to go mode this one. But I would say Guda's off to check that Ruby.
For audience information here, a little history on these 2 runners. So we got Greglypuff in chat. Greglypuff has been running the Duckling program on the Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord for quite some time. Duckling program is how we coach up new players. Darindrise, Guda, and myself all came up through it. Darindrise is 1 class newer than Guda and myself, so Guda's a little bit more veteran in terms of experience. Doesn't remember, however, that Fade is locked out for the Red Mage. Gives it a try, though.
I've been doing this since 2017, and I still don't remember Red Mage, Red Wizard permission.
Yeah, there's a lot of stats and stuff to remember for this game, and some of them are more consequential than others. The worst time that a spell slot can bite you like that is if you take a note, you say, okay, I got Fade at level 5, whatever, and you're going to come back for it, and then you come back and find out that you could actually never learn it to begin with. You're like, oh crud, I made this trip to get this spell I can't learn. After I did that enough times, it was time to write things down.
Bottle and a gold bracelet.
Bottle can't do anything with that yet. We need to be airborne. So if this isn't Floater, Guda is still going to be hunting, probably heading out to the other end of the map for some incentive dungeons.
Yeah, he's got Waterfall and Ordeal still to check, so... Ooh, there's some Octia.
So one cheeky option, if he goes... Let's say he goes Ordeals into Waterfall, and Waterfall has the Floater. He doesn't actually have to leave right away. He could go straight into Sea and just clear it and finish it, so that he doesn't have to come back later. And we're still probably looking for a loose item, so that wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, you got the charm. You could possibly decide to go to Sky.
I think that's probably... Unless you're in like darindrise's position where you're feeling pretty behind, I think you don't need to make the Sky play with all the other known incentives available. Earth Cave, heck, Guda's in Earth Cave right now, and we know this has a chest on the 3rd floor. That's got to have something.
Yeah, I don't think I'd do this until everything else was checked, because I don't think I'd want to come in here twice. I'd want to have the rod before I come in here.
But the other advantage to stopping by on this 1st floor for Guda is just checking these grind tiles, plus a pretty accessible 5 chests on the top floor.
Ooh, a ribbon.
Yeah,
So
one
that's a big
ribbon
pickup.
is pretty fantastic for a black belt party. You just need to ribbon up that life caster and you're golden.
Still can't wrap my head around black belt strats. Just seems so cheap.
I mean, it's a trade-off, just like everything else that you can do in this game. Black belts take time, and then they give you sort of a more guaranteed win. And fighters are faster, but when the fiends are hard to hit, they can be really inefficient.
Yeah, looks like darindrise is going to continue his clear of Volcano. Meanwhile, Guda is in Earth, so we'll get to see what the Earth... They'd be lucky if it was the rod, though.
Hey, speaking of black belts, darindrise's black belt is finally alive again. Looks like we're going to start investing in some experience there. Cheese is up to level 5.
Well, this is the thing he has to do. He wasn't going to make it 2-man. Oh, second loose. Second loose.
That is, Wait, hang on. Is that the first... That's the first loose incentive item. We have the canal, but it's kind of not the same. But either way, having a loose in Earth on the way to the incentive, if either of these things turn out to be Floater, or Rod even, just for efficiency, Guda's going to be feeling real happy about it.
Yeah, that Adamant's a long ways back, though.
Yeah, so you want to maybe run into Rod here just so you can finish the dungeon and then go turn in the Adamant, but I wouldn't be terribly upset to walk out of here with, a loose or an incentive Floater in hand.
I wouldn't mind seeing... If it couldn't be the Floater, I wouldn't mind seeing the TNT in here either. Because then you got 2 checks back at the Wharf Cave.
Yeah, that'd be pretty solid. So the number of outs for darindrise is steadily falling. If we've already seen a dungeon with an incentive loose... Oh, and a Maza. Oh my goodness.
The seed that keeps on giving.
Yeah, everything's coming up Guda right now. There are few outs for Darren. He needs to now find the other loose item and have that be the Floater, pretty much. And the odds are just so slim.
Question in chat. What is the canal? Vertical sandwich. The canal is an item that you need in able to get to the outer seat. The map is kind of cut into 2 portions. There's an inner seat and an outer seat. You start the game at the inner seat, And until you get that canal, you can't escape the inner sea to get out to the outer sea. So it's a required item. And in this kind of tournament, it's loose. It's not free. Mass is just the bomb.
Yeah, the most powerful sword in the vanilla game that you can't get until before your fight against Tiamat 2. It's super out of the way on a very dangerous floor. But in Randomizer, you can get it in the first dungeon. Uh-oh. What's happening over here?
Wizards would stop, but he's got that ribbon on the red mage, so he should be okay to get out of this.
Yeah, Earth is like preparing itself, or preparing you for itself. You get a ribbon right in the top, a Maza halfway through, so you can really get out of any sticky situation.
Wizards would glare, wipe out the thief. That's something you never want to see. Here's the bump in the road. Oh, look at that.
Wow. This is just so convenient. Again, everything's coming up Guda. But wait! But wait! There's a cube, a loose cube in a not super convenient check in the armory. It is one of the hairpins that's behind a spike tile. If you're just booking it through Volcano, you might only check the bottom bank of the armory chests. We'll see. Guda might not go to Volcano for a while, so Darren's got his small percentage out that we were hoping for.
Yeah, I can't see Guda going to Volcano till he's ready to go mode. But he knows you'll still need a cube, so I have a feeling he could end up full clearing Mirage and Sky before hitting Volcano.
Well, it'd have to be Mirage and Sea, because we can't get into Sky without said cube.
Well, Mirage, Sky, it's all the same thing.
Interestingly, on this floor here, not a lot of people know about these spike tiles, but there are two more unique spike tiles in Earth 4, and I've actually used them to grind a black belt plenty of times, so we'll see if Guda checks them.
Doesn't look like it by the way he's out in this room. You think he might just cast Warp and get out of here? No, we're just gonna walk.
Yeah, looks like he's not interested. It is pretty deep to take a grind, so I can understand maybe there's a fear of a wipe or something like that, and you want to go somewhere that's a little safer. But he certainly does need to find more dedicated levels for the black belt at some point.
Yeah, like he'd like to find a 3-eye grind or a Saria grind that isn't too dangerous. But finding that loose there is going to help darindrise, because he's probably going to do ice next, I'd say. And if he does, then he's going to find his canal. Then he's going to have to go to Earth shortly.
Okay, so I think darindrise's chances here in the Volcano are pretty good. And, oh man, this could be a juicy tile here depending on how high the HP is on these metal slimes.
Yeah, but it's not quite a black belt tile to grind.
Nah, they have way too much HP. You need them to roll under 100 and then have a mage stick. And he does not, and they did not.
So he's got that Mazmoon on the black belt, but slimes they got really high physical defense. You're not going to hit a slime with a weapon.
Yeah, they along with Scum have 255 physical defense. Very, very hard to hit.
Yeah, so he's going to have to find that grind tile eventually, but he's still got lots of time. He's basically a cube away from go mode, so...
Oh, you're absolutely right. Yeah, this could be floaterless go for Guda. Even though we know it won't be loose because we've accounted for both loose, so it'll just depend on kind of routing wise. Just the loose item darindrise grabbed, so he's looking for a floater. That's Guda's next big play. is getting in the air so that he can clear efficiently and hopefully find his way to the volcano, which he will need to go to.
Okay, let's check in the tracker, see if I missed anything. I didn't yet.
Yeah, no, it's spot on so far. This looks like a seed where you probably could find what you need to win without being in the air, but you'll get floater early enough and guaranteed enough that it's not worth doing floaterless go because it takes so long just to sail everywhere. Lich over here putting us to sleep, but I don't think it'll hold us off for long. We got a lot of damage coming in.
Yeah, so if Guda does decide to do this black belt grind, he's better off doing it before he promotes. Or if we're going to do a black belt grind, why promote at all, really?
Yep. But that's great for Guda at 38-minute mark. He's got his first orb lit, our first orb lighting on screen. And darindrise probably going to follow in a couple minutes to kill Carry, light his first orb. He's got Nuke, he's got Quad X. Should be a relatively doable fight.
So Guda's going to turn into the Adamant now. See what he gets out of this. Wah, wah.
Yeah, there's this cheeky little river here you can dock in. Makes it super quick to go back to Dwarves once you have Canoe. I certainly don't mind traveling to this place after Canoe.
Yeah, you don't want to see a Thor's Hammer, though.
Oof. At least that gives the Black Belt an AoE option if you end up in a bad sea pack when you're doing Sea Shrine in a bit.
So Guda's going to go up here now to TOF, maybe check the grind tiles up here as well as the chests. Looks like darindrise found some lobsters.
Yeah, they're harassing him with Lit 1. Not a fight you really are super interested in, but you have to get through because it's an unrunnable, so just trying to not expend too many resources so we can save as much as possible for carry.
Let's get all 4 Light Warriors standing now.
Yeah, that makes sense. He needs the healing from the White Mage that's got that heal 3 and cure 4 and stuff to heal off all that damaging tile stuff, and then you'll also want some extra healing and meat shields for carry.
Looks like Guda's going against some crawling bones. This ain't quite the trap tile he wants. Nice little thing Guda did there. He didn't save by TOF, so he automatically back in his boat.
Pretty fortunate for Darren here. So the Agama tile has re-rolled to this unrunnable Sea Troll and Lobster tile, but it's one of the formations that doesn't fill the screen. Like, you're never going to see 8 enemies on here, which would have been a lot more frightening.
So you think Guda's going Ordeals, or is he going to check out On Rack in the shops? Because we still haven't seen the vendor item yet, right? So the caravan could be hanging on to that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Guda's kind of decision tree is here. There's a lot of different things to weigh, but if he thinks that he just wants to grab floater, if it's in Ordeals, he can turn right back around, go to the dock. That would be one route. The other route is you go check 2 shops, go left, check Waterfall, clear out Sea Shrine, then come back, do Ordeals on the way, and you should have the floater for your turn no matter what.
I think that was Sabertooth with Death Touch. So
Wow.
But he's got Warp, so this should make Ordeals pretty trivial. If you take a wrong turn, you can just cast Warp and get back to the screen before, so...
Yep, that's one of the features of the randomizer. For those of you who are unfamiliar, we've got a pretty common flag where the Ordeals pillar maze is shuffled. Instead of being just go bottom, 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 bottom every time, it could be top, bottom, first, top, or any number of other combinations in all the rooms where you have a choice between multiple pillars.
No, Gregory, darindrise has not been back to ice, but he has found a loose cube in here. In Volcano, so there is a loose item in here. Looks like we're going to get our first look at Carrie. Yeah,
Alright, we got 3 nukes. Put that red mage in back. There we go. Just gonna lead off with a nuke here. Looking like wall to go up. Oh, ow! Immediate back row to the white mage, so can't wall the red mage for safety. Fiend 1s can have Thunder, Blaze, Damage, Poison, and Blizzard, all of which can really high roll your party, so really wanted to get that wall off.
Question in chat. What does it mean for an item to be loose? In this flag set, there's 2 key items that are in random treasure chests. So it could be TNT, could be herb, but there is 2 key items in loose treasure chests. That's why the Thor's Hammer and the Opal Cheerio are mixed in. So the 2 that are kicked out in the chests, their key checks will be either an Opal Bracelet or a Thor's Hammer.
So darindrise dispatched of Carrie, but then immediately got into this fight with a Grey Worm right before the teleporter, and it stunned his black belt, but thankfully going to survive to the portal and light his first orb at the 43-minute mark.
I missed what Guda picked up.
That was the crystal, and then he got ambushed by 7 wizards with their stop, so thankful again for the ribbon we found in Earth.
So it looks like he's going to head for Onrak now, check these 2 shops, check the waterfall, praying for a floater.
I think... Oh, I guess, you know what, he does have a fetch quest in hand, so without taking the pro route to go down to the Matoya River and turn it in like Caleb did against me last week, Guda is not going to know yet if he's airborne. He's edging towards the town here. Maybe he's looking to save or restock at the item shop before checking out waterfall.
And we have a slab. Slab for sale in Onrak for 11k.
Alright, so the floater's either going to be in waterfall or off a fetch quest, either the crystal or whatever comes out of waterfall, because we've narrowed down all our looses and all our incentive dungeons.
Yeah, so either the waterfall is going to be floater or that crystal turns into floater.
Yeah, for anyone watching who doesn't know about the route I was just talking about a little bit earlier, if you're on the north side of the map and you want to come south towards Matoya, there's a river that you can dock your ship at and then get onto land with the canoe in order to check Matoya in a pretty kind of cheeky way. And I've seen a lot of crystal to floater in the last week or so of seeds I've been playing, so that could have been a move there for Guda, but he's content to just head over to this continent and probably full clear what's here.
MG, the adamant turned into a Thor's Hammer. So not really what you want to see from a key item check, but...
I like Guda's strats here now. He's down to just 2 members deliberately. The Thor Hammer on the black belt gives him 2 AoE options, so no matter what kind of pack he runs into, he can clear it, and this will funnel as much experience onto that black belt as possible.
Yeah, plus he's got the black belt using the Massa for now, and look at this, Gas Dragons on the grind tile. Well, here's your grind tile. Yeah, you almost have to stay here. This is what you've been looking for your whole life. Looks like the robot has the TNT. Maybe try to...
So inconvenient. So no matter which way he went, he couldn't have known if he immediately would have been able to be airborne. So now he's actually faced with a choice. Does he, with already one, with all these fetch quests and stuff to turn him, is it worth it? Do you want a full clear sea? Because he could choose to risk it and maybe only do half a sea shrine.
Well, he's still looking for that one loose, so... And I have a feeling he's probably going to hit Volcano last, or maybe after Sky. Because
Yeah.
I don't think he'll go do... I don't think he'll go do Mirage Tower without the Q. Can't see it.
Yeah. But he knows something else that's not required is out there, right? As far as he knows, one of his fetch quests could be Floater, the other one could be Cube, and then there could be a loose like piece of equipment. So there's an argument depending on what level of risk he's willing to take, where he might not have to do all of Sea Shrine.
Yeah, like, ooh, these gas dragons hit hard.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too aggressive of a spike tile to take. He loses his waterfall, and he's going to have to go back in. Doing that with only 2 light warriors when the gas dragons have like over 400 HP, just a little bit too aggressive there, I think. That tile's more of a full party grind than like a 2-man grind.
Well, he moved the one off his black belt, because he figured the black belt was actually going to hit, but the black belt whiffed completely.
Yeah. Another thing you want to do when you're fighting enemies like that punch really hard, and you've got 2 characters that aren't very tanky, is put your 2 characters into slots that have the same threat potential. So if you put them into the 3rd and 4th slot, for example, they'll distribute the damage more evenly, and you're more likely to have them both survive the fight. But that black belt's just going to take punishment if you keep staying in the 1st slot.
Well, the way those gas dragons are hitting, they're both going to take punishment no matter where they're at. So unless you can get them in one round, I don't think this is the moment.
Yeah, this is there we go. He's using meat shield strats now. I love to see it. Darindrise doing what he needs to. He's in the ice cave, onto one of the spike tiles right now that has a pile of sea snakes, but this is going to put him towards his canal and his ruby. So cube in hand, we got our fingers crossed here for Darindrise to kind of make a comeback, make things get a little bit closer, but he is many key items behind Gouda right now.
Yeah, it's going to take a bit for Darindrise to catch up at this point. Plus, he's way behind on levels still. And the Grapey takes out the White Mage with a stone touch that I don't think he really needed.
Now the good news, Darren will pick up a little bit of time as long as he doesn't go to Earth. If he prioritizes waterfall ordeals, he'll find his floater on one of those fetch quests. He can go mode Earth Cave later, because he certainly doesn't need the adamant, it only goes to a Thor hammer.
Yeah, and Darindrise finally found the canoe, so he's gonna figure that he is miles behind at this point.
Yeah, you hate to still be in the inner sea when you're getting close to an hour like this.
See what Gouda decides to do. Is he gonna go mermaids? Nope, he's just going.
Yeah, I like this anyways. What we'll probably see is Gouda will full clear the left side, but when you do that, you're saying like, I 100% need to do Kraken, I'll do the stuff that's over here, and if I still haven't found anything, I'll consider mermaids when I'm on the way back, like coming up from the top of the dungeon after you finish.
And we have a roof for Darindrise, so now let's see if he can get out of Ice Cave with his Rubian Canal.
Oh, this is interesting. So Darren didn't do the warp. Oh, wait, yeah, he didn't do the warp play immediately. He did it late. So he's actually coming back through here and has to do this spike tile again and traverse the floor again. But he'll be able to at least walk out of the exit as soon as he gets to the next floor.
Yeah, it looks like Gouda's just gonna check the greed chest here. He'll probably full clear the next floor, I would think. Ooh, grab that pro ring.
Yeah, you certainly don't need the pro rings to come out of chests. They are in the vanilla shop shuffle, as always, but when you get them in chests, that means you don't have to visit the shop, so saves time.
funny to see what darindrise decides to do his black belt grind as well.
So far, neither player's found a truly good solo grind tile, which is why... Okay, as I was saying, I was seeing what Guda would pull here. This is not really a great solo grind tile either, so it's probably going to be up to 2-man strats to get that black belt up, rather than...
Oh, big eyes with thunder.
Ugh, gross, but our ribbon will save us.
Yeah, he found the Vorpal too, but that's pretty much... Well, I mean, it's the best weapon the red mage can use after promotion.
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, the Vorpal it's something that scales better with having more hits, and the red mage gets almost no hits, so you'd rather just give him the base damage of something like a Sun Sword.
Big eyes with ruse too. But this whole trap tile rolls low HP.
Yeah, I guess depending on how hard they hit, if you ribbon up a black belt, it could be safe-ish, but the problem is that grinding down here, you gotta get through to Kraken, and you're liable to be surprised by a pack like this, and lobsters just, they never play nice. They just always hit you so hard.
Looks like darindrise is taking a grind here on mud ghouls and sorcerers. Looks like he wants his thief to die. This ain't gonna work out because he doesn't have a lot of magic charges left. And those sorcerers usually are pretty resistant to low-level magic.
Yeah, so Darren, at this point, his out is that he go modes some dungeons that Guda full clears. Guda gets to the cube late, but also Darren needs to do a dedicated solo grind, possibly even before Guda does one. He needs to get that level advantage that then pays off over the course of the seed, because so much of the time you invest in a black belt grind pays off the earlier you do it.
Yeah, if you're gonna do a black belt grind, you definitely have to extremely early, like before mid-game, easily. Yo, Waringhand. How's she going, man? Well, I should get my tracker ready to click a button.
Alright, about to see our third of the Fiend 1s on the left side here. Guda is pulling Kraken 1, who's got 800 HP in vanilla and 8 hits in vanilla. Looks like it rolled about 5 hits today and just one-shot that thief. Ooh, that was cheeky. So the white mage silenced this Kraken. If Kraken has any abilities, like damage poison or something, that's just not going to go off at all.
Yeah, now he's putting up the Invis 2 charges, so... Oh, smart play.
Oh my god, he just saved himself from a thunder. Wow. That's the first mute of the tournament I think I've seen, and what a heads-up play.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anybody use mute, to be quite honest. But now he's got full evasion. He's got Team Kraken silenced, and, well, Brack right away.
Alright, broken into pieces, yep. So the mute worked and the Brack worked in both cases because this Fiend has very low magic defense. It's only got a weakness to lightning, so lightning's great for just killing it through damage, but you can also use instant kills like that break. Bane is also sufficient. And it's off to the races. Guda's going to turn in his key items, going to get in the air, and then it'll just depend. He's got kind of 3 corners of the world he can go into, depending on what he thinks is the best odds for his cube that he'll find out is loose pretty soon.
Be interesting to see how long it takes him to go into Volcano, and will he check those out of the way chests for...
Because he's going to do fetch quests after getting in the air too, right? He's got to do his slab translation, he's going to do his bottle turn-in. All this stuff is going to lead to gear and the tail, and he's going to be left scratching his head and saying, oh crud, it's time to go dig boxes.
Speaking of tail, So right now, what's he got left to turn in?
Just this crystal, and there's no fetches left, so crystal's going to be floater, which, hey, we were talking about it earlier. All these crystal to floater seeds, you could have taken that northern dock. For anyone out there watching, add that to your bag of tricks.
So the bottle and slab are going to end up being the Opal Cheerio and the Power Bonk.
Yeah, and power
Probably well worth doing to get a bonk.
Because with temper MIA, power bonk is going to give the black belt a way to juice up if chaos rolls really high absorb.
So looks like darindrise is going to go check his rubies now. Now that he's finally out of the inner sea at the 58-minute mark. But he is still miles behind Guda.
Yeah, he can make up time. He can, if he goes this ruby, then leaves this continent, goes down to Ordeals, gets his crystal, and then gets in the air. Waterfall was not required, right? That turned into the tail. darindrise doesn't need a tail. He could potentially skip Waterfall if he plays his cards right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what route he takes here. But I have a feeling he'd probably do Earth next.
The thing about the rod being in Earth, though, like we were saying earlier, everything coming up Guda, having the rod be in Earth means most runners on Earth flags will exhaust every other incentive location they can before going, because you don't want to go into Earth without knowing you have the rod. So that's probably the last big thing in Guda's favor, is that Darren would have to be really gutsy to skip some checks and try rodless Earth.
Yeah, I know I won't do it. Because Earth's always dangerous at low levels. Alright, Guda, what you thinking? Bottle and slab turning.
Yeah, taking care of the stuff that goes on in this corner of the world.
Then he's gonna be like,
check that stuff here.
there's a loose cube somewhere. Do you think you go back to mermaids?
No, right? When you cut stuff in a randomizer, you should commit to that, because, like, if it wasn't there, then, like, that's it, your cut was successful, and if it is there, then, like, you're gonna lose anyways, because you're just wasting time having missed it, so it's like, you just have to commit to the play.
And the fairy had the Opal Cheerio, which means the Leftnish will have the Power Bonk.
So this is an interesting seed in that it could have been floaterless go for somebody who did early Volcano, did Earth without the rod. You could have avoided that particular thing, but it was so accessible with the crystal right there at Ordeals that you don't have to. But these flags really love to give you ways to win without floater.
And Guda got the bad news that his second loose is the cube.
So now, early on in the spring tournament, we saw Gregory Puff make a big brain play after realizing, actually not even having perfect information yet. He didn't know for sure that cube was loose, but he stopped into Mirage anyways, happened to get a cube that got him way ahead of his opponent at that time. I don't know if Guda's going to dip into Mirage here or focus on Dungeon Seek and Full Clear, but it looks like he's making the Mirage play.
Yeah, we know he's not going to find his cube, but he may come across dragon armor that he doesn't need. So, better ribbon would be nice.
Yeah, really, just second and third ribbon are the end defense sword. Defense sword is like, and there's a ribbon. Ooh.
There's ribbon number 2.
All right, at 2 ribbons and a Maza already, literally the only thing left we need besides that loose cube is a defense sword, and even then it's just a nice to have. The white mage gives us evasion stacking, so we're pretty safe.
Yeah, so I think I don't know if he'll check the second floor. He probably will since he's here. But then it makes me think. So
Yeah, so if I'm kind of getting into Guda's head here a bit, I'm going to try and read his mind. I think that he knows, given his skill level, given darindrise's relative experience level, and given how the run has gone his way so far, Guda got a lot of favorable advantages, like doing that earth play. He probably feels ahead. When you're ahead in a randomizer, you make defensive plays so that you don't lose to them. And one of those defensive plays is taking a little bit of time to check Mirage and make sure that you don't last location a cube here, because it's super easy to do.
it's like Darindrise is looking for. I don't know if he checked the room with the loose item or not, though.
Be fine if he didn't. He picked up the ribbon, and he'll probably hit that Maza. That's in a pretty free chest, too. Oh, he's just on the first floor looking for grinds, so he's got some frost wolves here. He hasn't even been to the second floor yet.
Oh yeah, that's right. The loose was on the second floor. Well, there's a black shirt if he wants to keep that, but it doesn't look like he does.
I would keep a black shirt. You only have one black caster in this party, and getting through, especially the C floor in Temple of Fiends Revisited, black shirt's super relevant there.
Yeah, I think Guda's gonna hope for a nice grind tile in the volcano to start his black belt grind.
His grind tile is right here. He found it. It's Power Cycle Sandworms.
Oh,
they
yeah.
have like 150 HP or something.
Time to let people die.
Yeah, and if you're looking for a way to kill off your characters and get a solo grind going here, for starters, it's real safe because you're constantly saving, but also you can just go and find like a red Ankylo or a regular Ankylo pack and they'll smack your... Oh, what? Guda! Come on, it's right there! It's free! Go to 32! Oh well.
It's not free enough, I guess. I think he's more interested in finding the cube at the moment. Meanwhile, Darindrise gets his adamant and nopes out right away.
Alright, with Guda committing to the mermaid skip and already having Mirage out of the way, not interested in Marsh, he's into Volcano, so he's on the right path. If he full clears this first floor, he'll be in go mode.
Yeah, I think Marsh is going to be the last place anybody would check. Yeah,
right side
he's about
hairpins
away.
There are some nice speed ups you can do in here by taking advantage of warp, so that you don't have to backtrack through these hairpin corridors.
Yeah, pretty crappy trap tile.
Doesn't take advantage of warp. It looks like he's doing the full walk route.
Well, with his levels, he might want a few more fights, so there's probably no reason to use warp at this point.
I mean, speed is speed, right? Volcano doesn't have great encounters. This is literally the best encounter in Volcano, and it gives you like 1,000 experience.
Yeah, but we're not in his head, so we don't know what he's thinking.
That's true, but I know he's going to be happy right now.
Oh yeah, I can see warp out of this and then go mode to the rest of the place.
Maybe
well, he
he'll
might check the armor.
break the chests down here for a shot at Defense Sword or something, but he has what he needs. And we should note, at the 1 hour 7 minute mark, we do have our first runner on screen in go mode.
And he's going to check the armor. He's going to come across that white shirt, so he might be a little bit happy to see that. Especially if you're going to go with black. Peds. I don't know if they had anything dangerous or not. I don't remember.
Yeah, they're high HP, so not the best time to fight them, but this pack is worth maybe 2,500, so gonna be still valuable.
He's got the Thief with the Massa, and the Black Belt's punching pretty good, so he's cutting through them pretty easily. Meanwhile, darindrise's picking up gold Cheerios for his party. He was probably a little disappointed in that adamant turn-in, but... Now we'll see if he decides to go back to Earth, or is he going to head towards the on-rack area?
Oh goodness, I didn't even see that he made that call, so he left Earth with just the loose item, rather than go down and grab his rod and finish.
Yeah, he found the adamant and warped out right away.
You're only one floor away from an incentive box. You've got to follow through, Darren. If you watch this back, make sure, especially with the spell Warp, like there's no reason not to at least get as far as the incentive box.
Yeah, this could cost him pretty big. He knows he's got two loose. Yeah, he's heading towards on-rack.
Yeah, so Darren did not make the full dive through Earth, which would have put him in go mode, actually. So now he's going to be sailing and doing all these other optional dungeons, unfortunately, so he's not going to be able to take advantage of one of the things that was in his favor.
Yeah, so this is Guda's to lose now. And I mean, if he grinds that black belt up to 32... The way we've seen TOFR lately, you're probably not going to stop him going down.
So here's a thought. In Guda's situation, he might not actually need 32. A mid-20s black belt is still pretty strong, and when you've got the Thief with the buffs on, so for everyone who's watching, we got this, not in the vanilla game, but we got this buff flag for the Thieves. Their hit growth is twice as fast. The Thief has 5 hits to the Maza at 20 and 6 hits at 28. So you've got 2 capable offensive characters, plus you got the supporting cast, the mages with the nuke and everything else, the power bonk. You can probably get there without doing the dedicated black belt grind, and it's so late in the seed he might not need it. He's just going to go clear out his orbs. He's going to kill Carrie in probably 2 rounds here, maybe even 1 round. Go up Sky, get levels walking, finish the game maybe at 28. I could see it.
Well, his black belt's at 26 already, so... And while you're, as you're watching this, make sure to give your runners a follow. That's guda632 and darindrise. They're really putting on a show tonight.
Oop. Oh, he's just burning off an encounter. I just crossed my fingers there that he'd take those sandworms, but Guda's past it. He doesn't care about the grind.
No, he's not going to grind now. He's going to get levels as he goes through, and then he'll end up, like you said, 26, 24, 25, maybe. That should be good enough to finish the game.
Yeah, the black belt has really impressive scaling, and even though 32 is a big power spike, the levels before that you're still strong. You still have a pretty high crit rate. You get 2 attack power per level, and that goes into all your hits and all your crits.
Meanwhile, darindrise is going here. Found his way through the pillar maze pretty easily. This would have been another grind tile, the Chimeras.
Yeah, I don't remember if they had something. It's been so long since Guda was on this tile, but they have low HP. 178 from the nuke takes them out. So you could have conceivably seen, like... well, the black shirt's in Sky, right? So you would need the black shirt to have a solo grind here for the black belt.
And it looks like the Thief is down again. Don't know if you'll see him coming back up till Kraken 2 now. I think this might be 2. No, maybe not.
Yeah, it's that Maza damage, right? He really doesn't want to let it down, because it's actually a big component of his DPS. He's probably doing about 2/3 of the damage of that black belt with every thief swing.
Alright, folks, get the Bless RNGs out if you want to see a Warmech. That's probably what Guda's looking for.
Oh yeah, Warmech would give him a big boost, put a level or 2 on every character.
Meanwhile, darindrise gets his crystal. See if he takes that back right away or not. He's been doing the fetch quest right away, so if he does, he's gonna come across his floater pretty quick.
Come on, Darren, veteran move. You've been watching the FFR races, you can do it.
Matoya! Matoya!
Oof, he's already moving left.
Yeah, I like
this.
this.
Waterfall player. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And in his defense, I mean, well, you can kind of see it. But he's going north here.
Oh, what?
Oh no, he's not going waterfall. He's taking the long way to Matoya.
He's changing his mind a lot on the fly. Does he go left or right here?
Looks like he's taking your opinion. Go south to hit that little canal to Matoya.
Yeah, I don't think he knows the layout very well. He would have wanted to go further east, so now he's traveled way further south than he needs to. But still a good play. He's going to get in the air much sooner than he would have otherwise, and make up a little bit of ground.
Meanwhile, Guda on the Bridge of Destiny. There's some Bless RNGs.
Bless RNG, Mr. Destructoid, the usual. We have Shuffle Encounter rarity on, so Warmech's Vanilla Encounter 7 could be up to 1, 2, 3, or 4, all of which are way, way more common. You can even see multiple Warmechs pretty easily in this flags.
Yeah, I've seen races with 3 Warmechs. I had 2 in mine.
Now, I think if I were expecting Warmech to show up, I would have the full party alive here, just because Warmech can be super nasty. He can go nuke just like the best of them, and you want to have your safeties up and online in case it's a real bad Warmech. It can also roll unrunnable.
darindrise got his floater. These red hydras ain't bad either, and they're pretty weak.
Alright, the other thing darindrise has to do is go towards the floater dock, which he's going the long way to, so go ahead, check over the world map before the next time, and you will save yourself lots of sailing, for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely taking the long way around here.
Alright, we didn't get a Warmech, but we do have a Fiend pull here for Guda. This is his, should be 4th Fiend now. I think he lit that Fire Orb when he blasted through Carry a little earlier.
My bad. Trying to do 2 things.
Yeah. Tia goes down to that break, though, so it didn't matter that the Black Belt only hit for 3 hits, 120.
There we go. Guda is TOFR ready. Now, is he gonna... Now, I wonder if he's gonna do the grind here like you want him to.
Ooh, you know, the Sandworms... Actually, this still wouldn't have been that dangerous, because he does have Opal and Ribbon, right? So he could have did a grind here with a very safe Black Belt, despite the script.
This would be an easy way for his other characters to die, though.
Yeah, that's true.
But he's not going for it. He
Right,
must
you're
follow.
about to see a master
Yes.
class here. Guda's gambling on the sub 32 Black Belt because he's got all these other components to win, and I don't disagree.
And Life 2 is level 7. Promotion locked. You're not even going to see Guda promote. I don't think. Where's he going now?
Quick magic check. Maybe he was missing an important spell, or maybe he needs a certain kind of potion that's not in the Caneria shop or something. Or like a... What's he looking for? Oh, maybe... Can Caneria roll without heal pots?
Ah, yeah, Canary, you can.
That's right. It's right. It's only guaranteed pure and soft. That's right.
Yeah, soft and pure, the only thing's guaranteed. And Karan, thank you for the raid. And welcome to all your viewers to this Week 2 race between guda632 and darindrise in our 2020 Final Fantasy Spring Tournament.
Oh, huh. I see. Gouda is deciding to do the... He's back here in Northwest Castle. He's going to let his top 2 characters die and do a double grind to 32 with the Red Mage and the Black Belt. Certainly a fine approach.
On the vampires? That'd be a questionable grind. Because
I mean,
they're
It'll get it done. I just, yeah, with the other things that he saw, and the other times he had the opportunity to get levels, it's interesting that he waited all the way till right before Topher and then is doing this. Because with it spread out between party members, it is going to be pretty slow.
Yeah, so unless he's just waiting for the vampires to do the dirty work for him.
Looks like we got darindrise walking across some swamp tiles here. Oh, let's see. He's clearing out the Cardias. You don't need any more chests, Darren. I don't know what he's looking for specifically. He's got a ribbon, he's got 2 loose, and a black belt. So maybe there's some other safety he thinks he needs. A second ribbon, perhaps? He's got the defense sword.
Yeah, if I was him, I'd be like, uh-oh, I'm in the air, an hour 15. I gotta get going on these incentivized checks. I need go mode.
Yeah, he needs go mode, he needs levels. Right now, Gouda, I don't think you wipe with this party, especially if that black belt gets to 32. I think Gouda one-shots Topher no problem. So you're going to need a bunch of really low percent chance wipes from Gouda to see darindrise come back, because he still needs 3 more orbs.
Yeah, he's definitely... oh, well, he's, it's hard to say. Maybe something would have went the other way, but everything just seemed to go Gouda's way this seed. Everything he checked seemed to turn into gold.
Alright, Driz, or I guess it's probably short for darindrise. Drise is up to 29, so getting super close.
Oh, you think he's... Yep. I don't know why he's burning off an encounter.
Yeah,
but...
I was about to say, there's no encounters inside Northwest, but you do you, Gouda.
He did that twice now.
There are certain things you get into the habit of when you're playing a competitive race. It's just like hard to break that habit because your mind is so singularly focused. I totally understand.
So I guess he's probably going to take Dries to 32 and go punch some fiends.
Alright, darindrise stopped in at Onrak, gonna head into Waterfall and come back out and hopefully just go full go mode left side C. Definitely doesn't need anything else.
Yeah, I'd say Gouda's got another 2 or 3 minutes tops on this grind. It's going to be interesting to see a black belt walk through TOFR.
Yeah, we haven't seen them much this tournament. They've only really come out in the party drafts. There have been a few free selected black belts, but nobody's actually used it as their main melee yet. And I totally understand. It's not a very safe pick. It's a lot less safe than a fighter if you're just trying to go fast.
I know this much. If any of my people, we do a draft and pick up black belt, he's going to be the first thing dead.
Yep, that's the other thing is you have to want to play the black belt, and you have to know how to handle it. It's such a particular way to play the game that a lot of people just aren't interested in it.
I used to do it all the time. I know how to do it, but I don't find it fun. Where's the mystery of the fiends when you know you're just going to go punch for $1,000?
Yeah, I mean, I love punching for $1,000 personally. Like, I certainly hate to wipe in Topher, so it's just two different schools of thought. Ooh, this is interesting. So, darindrise is able to clear out this Gas Dragon tile a little bit faster since he's got his White Mage up, so he's got a Fade and a Nuke coming out. You might see him finally pick up some more levels on this tile, and not have the risk of wiping like Guda did.
Yeah, we'll see what he decides to do, but I don't know. He's got to feel pretty far behind.
Yeah.
This is nice for them.
This is a little excessive here. Guda's already at 33 on the black belt and taking more fights. 34, 35 now. You don't need 42. You're ahead. Probably, I don't know. Maybe he does feel like he's got enough padding in his mind that he's so far ahead that he can do the ultimate safety, never wipe level 42. But you really don't need it with all the magic and equipment you've got available.
No, these gas dragons are taking it to darindrise right now, but Teeth goes down. That doesn't really matter much. Yeah, he warps out right away. Yeah, I don't know what darindrise is trying to do with this grind. Is he going to 50?
Oh, you mean Guda?
Yeah, Guda. That would be a little expensive, but...
There's no reason to go to 50. 40, 42, or maybe like 41 if you're going to stop your grind at some point, because then you get 42 on the way to the Fiends anyways, between all the unrunnables and whatever in Topher that you can run into. 42 is your offensive and defensive power spike. It's when you're finally safe from spells like Crack and Zap. Additionally, you get your 10th hit. Kind of halfway stretched there. He went to halfway to 42. So, I don't know, maybe he just wanted a few extra crits.
Yeah, I don't think Topher is too long for this world with this team. Don't even need Fast Bonk or Temper.
Yeah, so this black belt, every time it uses Power Bonk, it's going to get 16 attack. It's hitting 8 times right now. So that's already like a bunch of extra damage just from one power bonk, but also crits factor in your attack a second time. So you're talking like every time you bonk, you're probably adding 250 damage around on black belt.
Oh yeah, 2 or 3 bonks and a fast on the black belt and you're up into 2k range. The only thing that's going to be bad is and it won't even be bad because he's going to crit right through it anyway. If it was Chaos had like max absorb.
Yep, crits ignore absorb thanks to just how the crit formula works, and then they also ignore evade thanks to how battle RNG works. There's a chance to roll a 0 or a 1 and end up hitting even though any other roll would have been a miss through max evade.
Looks like darindrise is back to 2-man strats here.
Yeah, certainly a good play. darindrise knows he's going to get a little bit of experience in Sea Shrine. This is a way for him to catch up his experience that he's been missing for most of the seed.
Wow, those Grey Sharks under 300 HP. It's not all too often you see that. And Guda's in TOFR.
Yeah, that was about hour 27 he came in here, so pretty good pace for this kind of team composition. This was a party draft. Anytime you come into Topher under 130 on Earth Flags, you gotta feel happy about it, but especially when you had to take the time to grind.
Yeah, those gas dragons were unrunnable, so doesn't look like he wants any part of that. So he's just gonna go all. He's just gonna grind right through this.
Yeah, Guda's doing something. Is he gonna do it again? He's gonna fight him this time. There's this concept of encounter manipulation, which means a lot of things, but for people in chat who maybe don't know some of the strategies yet, you can reset the game using what would be the equivalent of the reset button on the NES to go back to the game screen, like the load game screen, and you'll be at the next encounter out of 16 available. So if you don't like something you see, you just reset and you go next.
Yeah, you'll hear it referred to as power cycling. Hard reset, soft reset. Hard reset resets your encounter table, takes you back to square one. Soft reset will skip the encounter you just had and move you on to the next one.
Oof, that thief is doing juicy damage. 5 hits 600 there on that Chimera.
It's all Mazza, man. Doesn't matter who holds it.
Yeah, and so you've got a really nice little dual threat sort of backup if the thief, whether it's getting in the chip damage or if the black belt goes down to just some random like punch or 3 and 256 or whatever, like the thief is still alive, can still win it for you if push comes to shove. So Guda's got more than one backup strategy here.
Yeah, Darindra's getting a lot of these big eyes. Oh, and he finally sees the thunder. But this is good experience for him. The Grey Shark Big Eye is normally called the Party Pack or whatever, the XP Pack.
Yeah, it's a good one as long as they don't roll too much over 300 HP.
See that black belt? 8 hits, 900 damage.
Yeah, and speaking of enemies that can roll high but are worth a lot, we got worms that appear on a couple different floors in TOFR. This floor, which you go through twice since there are multiple stairwells in and out of it, and then the air floor, the worms can show up in a pack of 4.
The only thing about going down here with 4 people, it's gonna blow through his heal pots a lot faster.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he only picked up Cure 4 on the white mage because there was some competition at level 2, so that red mage has been not helping him speed up his healing all seed. He's been using a lot of heal pots, whereas if he'd picked up the second copy of Cure 4, it would have been a lot faster.
So we'll have to keep an eye on his heal pot resource by the time he gets down to Chaos, because he's running into a lot of unrunnable fights here.
Throws out a punch with the white mage, 1 hit, 3 damage. You don't love to see that. You probably want to maybe get like 1 hit, 6 damage for the white mage to really feel like it's contributing. I don't know, what do you say?
Maybe just throw a weapon on it right quick. He's got a Thor's Hammer, I think.
Oh, then now you're talking. Thor's Hammer, best in the slot for the white mage, but only after promotion. Anyways, back to serious stuff. We got our first Fiend Revisited pull here with Lich 2. Don't need to respect it too much. Sometimes you can one-shot it with the black belt there, but this Lich rolled beef.
Yeah, you don't need to show anything respect in Topher at this point in time. Maybe Kraken if he decides to punch pretty hard, but I still think the black belt's got enough HP.
Yep, speaking of Kraken, we do have the Kraken 1 fight happening here for darindrise, so once he pulls through, he will be lighting his second orb.
Yeah, I think between the black belt and the Masmoon on the Thief, it's going to be a 1 round for most of these fiends.
Yep. You got Nuke coming in. Carry only answers with Fire 3. Shrug that off. Ooh, well, 1 hit 66 damage, 4 hits 151 with no crits, so this is a high evade carry. Yeah, there we go. We got Lock 2 in the spell list, so that's going to help both of those damage dealers hit more frequently. As long as they're not stunned, which Stop came out and stunned the Thief. Ooh, veteran move, come on. Oh, actually, never mind. I was about to say you should throw a Cure 4 on that thief to get it unstunned. It's exiled to the 4th dimension anyways. But he only has 3 charges left of that level 2 magic for the white mage, and it's got wall and invis too.
Well, the white mage is down, so...
Up to level 37 on the black belt now. That's some big HP, big damage.
Yeah, I don't know if it's even worth bringing your thief back anymore. I mean, it'll take a massive thing to get your black belt. Get your black belt right now.
Yeah, you can if you want to save resources from like attacks coming in from packs like these or from AoE. You can leave characters down as you walk through the floors, but you want everyone up when it comes to the fiend fight itself because you need the extra meat shields, and the thief is contributing a lot with that Mazo.
Looks like darindrise is going to translate a slab here.
Alright, we're about to see the Kraken 2 pull. What kind of party order is Guda going to do here? Alright, he's going to protect his most important melee character, doesn't want it to get 2-shot, and go in, guns blazing, fade, punch, nuke. I love it.
Well, you don't really have any reason to do otherwise.
Gets a really high roll on the fade and a respectable roll on the nuke. White mage does its job, takes a hit. We're coming back for round 2. Black belt, little short on the damage there. Only 2 hits and about 200. Is nuke gonna do it? No. Okay, so we got a high HP Kraken this time around and high evade.
And he's going down the row.
Yeah, that could have actually ended pretty badly. If the red mage got back rowed there, you'd be down to just your melees, so you'd be relying on, you'd probably get through man mode at that point, but it would have actually been dicey. Either way, Guda was not gate kept by the Kraken. Gonna get off this floor, gets a nice first strike here on these waters, and gonna approach Tia 2, who's a little bit tankier but does a little less physical damage, is kind of the main difference between Kraken and Tiamat.
We've still not seen anything dangerous out of any of the fiends yet, though. No nukes, no nuclears.
Yeah,
Nothing,
Chaos
no
could still come around rolling with that triple nuke, and if that did happen, then Guda's easy answer would be head back to the grind tile, get 42, and try again.
And there's a nuclear. Another nuke or nuclear here could be bad if it wipes out his white mage and his red mage. Oh, but Dries just kicks Kraken's teeth in.
Yeah, that was a pretty low HP roll there from Tia 2. Looked like about 800 HP maybe, whereas it's got 1100 in vanilla.
Yeah, well, folks, we're coming on the last boss, the end of the road, and I'm pretty sure there isn't going to be much of an issue here.
Yep, just some roadblocks, these unrunnable fights that have been all around Topher. Gets a little extra level. Oh, yeah, just one more on the white mage, goes up to 24. Everyone's levels are set. We're gonna probably do a final gear check, a final heal up, and rearrange our party. Get set for what looks like Garland, but is actually Chaos, because it turns out Garland was Chaos the whole time.
No, some defenses gonna lock too. Gonna bonk the black belt. So
This is good. I like this opening. He could opt for a wall, but he might want to save the charges there for Cure 4. Thief contributes 112 damage. That's not bad.
5 hits. Chaos is light on the evade here.
Yeah, I think Chaos's evade is already at the point where he's going to be landing all his hits, so shouldn't need to spend too much time locking. Ooh, Poison Smoke takes down the Thief, so no more chip damage from the Thief.
I can see a 1k crack coming here.
Oof, the lit 3 there kind of high rolled and did half of the white mage's HP, but we're still in pretty great shape. 700 HP on the black belt.
Oh man, my screen froze. What did the black belt do for damage?
It lagged just a little bit. I didn't see the damage output on screen there. We're coming back with more white shirts. Chaos gives us a free turn with ink. We had a nuke come out there from the red mage, and the black belt's just punching away. That was about 560 damage.
Yeah, it looks like the first shot was only 296.
Got a 302. We're getting all 8 hits, because without fast here, there's no extra hits to be found, so don't need to lock anymore. Just want to fire off a nuke here, maybe. White mage gets quad X'd.
Oh, and there it goes. GG Guda.
Yeah, Guda has won the match, finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 38 minutes, 39 seconds. Get out your GGs, and that moves Guda to 2-0. You love to see a runner just handling the game this well. Guda made some really masterful plays, executed throughout the game, played to his outs, played a little bit safe there at times, but that let him secure this Topher in one shot, which was certainly no guarantee. And we'll have him in the booth right now, it sounds like, for an interview.
How's it going, cheese?
Hey, Guda, my friend in the cheese. How are you feeling?
The only cheeses in the Discord, can't complain. I got super worried about that cube when I basically go moded C, and I'm like, I got 2 incentive items. I got a 66% chance I'm gonna have cube out of one of these 2, and then it was Opal and Bonk, and I'm like, oh no.
That could have made the difference, because darindrise actually went Volcano before Ice and had the cube, so depending on how the two of you routed the rest of the game, that was kind of his ace in the hole, but didn't end up panning out.
Yeah, I'm like, he went to Marsh, and it's going to be in Marsh, and I'm going to full clear Volcano, and this is going to be awful, and but I hate black belts. And there was no good safe grind tile that I found, so I was like, well, I guess I'm going back to 2-man the Whiz Vamps and Vamps.
There was a really safe grind tile you found, but it wasn't a tile. Can you tell me why you passed up the sandworms on the overworld?
Because I didn't have a really easy way to Dan off 3 people.
They were cast in Blizzard.
I must have either missed that or completely tuned it out of my mind.
Oh, okay.
So, also if they were casting Blizzard, then it wasn't very safe, because even though I had a ribbon, there was 2 of them, so they're gonna get it off a bunch, and I probably could have done it. I've done sandworms before, but
belt solo grind there. You've probably taken 100 damage a fight, maybe. And
yeah.
Anyways, something to consider for the future. But regardless, you handled the game well. You got your black belt to a super safe level, so you clearly one-shot Topher and pushed your advantage. You probably felt like, just given the relative experience level, that you knew you had a little extra time to play with.
Yeah, I know Darren's a duck, but he's been really playing well lately. So I'm like, I don't know how long I have. Like, that's why I didn't go to 42. That's why I stopped at, I think it was 36. So I'm like, I'm out of charges. I don't want to warp out, save, come back in, do another grind. I'm like, I got 2 light warriors up high, and then I have a thief that's low 20s with Amasa, and low 20s with Amasa, he was doing some sick damage. So I'm like, I've got a backup damage dealer just in case I needed one. So that's kind of why I stopped at 36. And I had like 700 hit points. The only thing I really wanted was defense, but I had a white shirt. It just takes twice as long.
Yeah, defense, I don't remember where darindrise pulled it out of, but he does have it.
Probably Volcano then.
Yeah, it must have been a part of Volcano that you go moded that he full cleared.
Mm-hmm.
See, another bit of your strategy that I wanted to ask about was the Earth dive, right? You deliberately went down into Earth without the rod.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, at that point, I had found Canal and Ice, and I thought about doing Volcano, but then I looked at my levels, and I'm like, I have a black belt that's at like level 13. This is going to be awful, and I have one caster who can try and get through this. I'm like, this is not going to work out well for me, so I like faked you guys out and went towards Volcano. I'm like, nah, I'll go somewhere else. And then with Earth being incentive, I had 3 incentive items in the same area. And basically it was like Earth or bust. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'll go to Earth because I thought maybe it'd be holding floater. And also at that point, I forgot that I could do waterfall and ordeals. But it was one of those, like, I'm in the area, I have warp, I can full clear down. I found a loose item, so I'm like, sweet, this is worth it. And then
the rod being in Earth was just, at that point, you just found a Maza, you'd found a ribbon on first floor and a loose item on the way. We were like, Guda is just killing it. Like, everything is rolling your way.
Yeah, and in these flags, just like with C, if I can go into C, I'm going to go into C. But in these, I'm like, all I have to do is get through Vampire. It's not that bad unless, werewolves or gerwolves or any of the other 36 enemies that Earth holds roll something bad. Luckily, this time they didn't. I also feel really comfortable with Thief, which is why I brought him back up for that, because Thief runs, and he, I don't remember where I was in Ice. I went from almost unable to run, bringing the Thief back up, and then getting first strikes and running almost instantly.
Yep. No, I love me the Thief. Certainly, maybe some people in the audience need convincing, but I'm on Team Thief.
Oh, dude, I'm 100% on Team Thief. I absolutely love the Thief. I would run Thief Rainbow if he got a little bit more HP.
Yeah, I think maybe if the boss scaling were a little bit lower, there's a chance Thief Rainbow could have had more success, but probably not going to be something that people are picking against, like in open party compositions in this tournament and in the later rounds. It's a little too dicey.
Yeah, Sonny's taken it a couple of times and he's had a little bit of a problem with it. It's always been Topher.
Darindrise just lit his 3rd orb, neglected to finish Earth earlier, went as far as the Adamant and then warped back out, so unfortunately did not get a rod that would have put him in go mode about 20 minutes ago.
Okay.
But we have 4 orbs. Darren's booking it, should be finishing up Earth right after this.
Yeah, and Rod and Earth is one of the most trolly things that you can have in this seed, and that's one of the other reasons why I like going down into Earth and just grabbing that, especially if you have Warp or Exit. You might as well go down, see what it is, and get out, because when you're looking for a floater, when you're looking for any other progression item, whether it's Cube or Oxyale, or Rod in this case, it could be there, and if it's safe, you might as well go down and try and get it.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is the point and time at which you found your ribbon early enough in the seed really made most of it safe. And frankly, the spells and scripts this game weren't bad.
Yeah, I agree. They weren't awful. I mean, I think I saw Cremate and...
I didn't see these trance gargoyles that just ambushed Darren and Earth. That would have been something to be scared of.
I didn't see those either.
Trance has been telling some stories for sure so far this tournament. It's locked down a lot of people, caused a lot of wipes and resets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't like it when I went into Topher, and the first 2 encounters that I got were back-to-back unrunnable gas dragons that, Glare the Black Belt, that's not good. But the unrunnable gas dragons that I lost my grind on. I'm like, these are safe, I got these. They hit a little hard, but then 4 of them came and just tanked me hard. I'm like, well, okay, I guess this isn't gonna work.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was probably the only minor slip up of maybe if Guda prepared a little bit more there, brought up his other light warriors to fight this or something, or just worked out. But that being your only time loss, half of a waterfall, is pretty excellent as far as execution goes.
Yeah, and I'm glad that was my only real hiccup. I think other than that, I think it was pretty safe. It was a pretty clean run. It was really trolly having to sail around everywhere and try and find that stupid floater. Oh
yeah, we were calling. So Darindrise ended up doing it once he figured out the sailing route. But this play keeps happening. There keep being these crystal to floaters. It's happened to me in practice, and Caleb did against me last week, where you get a crystal in ordeals, you just go down and make that cheeky check to Matoya, and it would have worked this time to get you in the air much faster.
Well, if I would have done Volcano earlier and found the cube, I wouldn't have even turned any of those in. I would have never even gotten a floater. This would have been completely floaterless for me.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
Because like I didn't need bonk. It was nice, but I didn't need it. I didn't see temper or fast, which was not fun.
this is
Temper was level.
Go ahead.
I think Temper was level 5 or 6, and I don't think we've seen Fast, so it must be 7 or 8.
Yeah, Temper was locked out to the Red Mage at 6, so if this had been open parties, like, yeah, Black Mages would have gotten Temper, they wouldn't have had a lot of charges, but Black Belts can sneak in and be pretty good in seeds where Fast and Temper are MIA, because fighters really rely on those.
Yeah, fighters and ninjas both really rely on temper getting those extra hits, where black belts, I mean, they've already, at 32, they've already got 8 hits. I mean, for a ninja, I believe it's, with katana, it's 6 hits at 31.
Yep.
Something along those lines. So, I mean, you're up there with a katana ninja, but I had to sell that katana early to get money to play the game.
Yeah, and that was absolutely a wise move. It got you through the inner sea much faster. You were able to just single dip the towns and get all the magic you needed, while Darren was kind of going back and forth checking chests before he could actually buy his spells.
Yeah, in my soul, it pained me to sell a katana because it's the best weapon in the game. And I had a potential ninja, but I'm like, I'll probably, to be safe, end up going black belt strats and never class change, so I'm not going to need it.
Yep.
Which
yeah,
is
there's a lot of
unfortunate.
other stuff. If you still had promotion on the brain, there's a lot of other stuff the ninja could equip that could still deal decent damage if you were trying to do sort of a balanced party like that. But you eventually did what the commentators in chat were calling for, which is get a big swole black belt.
Well, I mean, you really have to. I mean, 230, I've had, in practice, I've lost to Ragnarok, I've lost to Caleb, I've lost to a couple other people, and the combined losses are by like 2.5 minutes in 3 races because Topher just kicked me directly in the nuts.
Yeah, you hate to see when it rolls that high, but what you love to see is darindrise lighting all 4 orbs. He's been a trooper. He's finishing out this run on stream. Certainly, if someone wanted to pack their bags and maybe go, catch a snack, they would have forfeit. But Darren's given us more entertainment as he is flying around. Maybe gonna suit up, get some potions, get some magic, get something. He does possibly still need to grind before he finishes.
And he was smarter than I was. I had completely forgot that there were no heal pods in Corneria. So he's doing the smart play, coming down to Elfland and getting those heal pods here where they actually exist.
But yeah, of everything I saw in the game, we saw a lot of spike tiles. We saw every spike tile in Volcano, Waterfall, Ordeals, Earth, Ice, the mandatory one in Sky, and the one here in TOF locked, and they all stunk, right? So it was like sandworms are bust for me, but darindrise not even going to bother with 32. He thinks he can win with what he's got here, and I don't blame him. He's already got pretty respectable levels.
Yeah, the Sifu, the Big Eye Gershark tile would have been nice other than Thunder.
Yeah.
But Topher rolled semi-vanilla here with a lot of unrunnable enemies.
Yeah, it was kind of a slow clear, and I remember seeing you reset out of a couple of those gas dragons before finally just accepting your fate. So let me see if he stops on the character screen. I see 30. Okay, so 30 is solid. darindrise is betting on getting 32 on the way down. As long as you get it by Kraken 2, you're in good shape.
Yeah, you shouldn't have too much of a problem with this, Topher, because we didn't see too much nasty except for that nuclear out of Tiamat.
Kraken was hitting hard, though.
Yeah, Kraken 2 hit like a truck. She was just not playing around, saying, "Here you go, Light Warriors. Why don't you take all 8 of these tentacles?"
I missed the old tournament last year. Kraken would fast himself and then hit you for about 2k.
Yeah, Kraken, that was probably your diciest moment in the Topher clear, was that, like, you could have had turn order where you lost your red mage right there at the end, and you would have had to solo it the rest of the way with, like, what, Power Bonk and a white shirt?
Yeah, Power Bonk and White Shirt, which really feels bad because you're giving Tia and Chaos like 8 rounds to get out whatever the heck they want, and then you just it's a feels bad moment when that happens.
Yep.
Well, the Whizvamps had Blaze.
Oof.
That's something you never saw in your grind.
Was it the Vamps or the Dragons? I didn't
The
see.
Vamps. The Whizvamps.
Oh, that must be behind. Yeah, so they probably went, like, flash into Blaze, but they were already dead by that point.
Yeah, once I saw that the Whizvamps had a skill list, I didn't want to mess around with them. Just take them out instantly or as quickly as you can. The white magic, other than life and cure 4 really low level, was really really awful for damage dealing. You had fade and harm 4 both at level 5.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So
white
it was
mage.
totally understandable that you would have the white mage down. Though, did you skip Cure 4 on the red mage?
I did.
Okay, yeah, we noticed that kind of throughout the run, that it might have saved you a ton of time doing heal potions if you'd had that second Cure 4.
It probably would have, but when I looked at black magic, I really needed basically everything there. So I needed lock 2 for Topher, and you needed lock 2 because I think it was Tia I missed. Or
Yeah,
got
and-
one hit.
And level 1 also had lock, but level 1 was competitive. Like, those 2 levels in a row, you had more than 3 good spells to pick between for the red mage.
Yeah, so I figured I'd leave my white mage up when I needed to, or if it was for healing, like literally all I'd have to do is just use one of the life spells, bring her up, use her for healing, and then just let somebody take her back down.
Yeah, good strat. We got Darren pulling the first Revisited Fiend here. Harm 2 actually helping contribute. Black Belt only gets 6 hits in there because it's not 32 yet, so didn't actually do a ton of DPS that round. We know Lich has about 800 HP. Given ultimate respect to the physicals from Lich here with that white shirt, probably didn't need to. Black Belt takes it out the next hit.
I like that Darren picked up Saber on the red mage, because a worst case scenario, you can always throw Masa or Vorpal on a red mage, red wizard, and Saber is the exact same thing as Power Bonk, and he had plenty of spells of it.
Yep, but neither of you promoted, and understandably so. Also, Darren did not find the Maza, I'm pretty sure, because that was in a point in Earth after he was already in go mode, so he knew he only needed to check the rod, or the vanilla ruby chest, which had the rod.
Yeah, that Maza was a lifesaver. It put in so much work. I mean, I like Coral Sword, but it's no Masamune.
Yeah, you massively increased your DPS for the late game, but also in the mid game you were able to clear enemies much faster before the black belt got truly online on its own.
Yeah, and I like doing Masa until 21 with a black belt when it gets its 6 hits, and just that actually kind of secured it for me to keep the black belt up. Is when I found Masa really early. I'm like, you know what, he can actually do damage now.
Alright, how's this carry going to go for us? Only 4 hits, 52 damage, no crits there yet for the black belt, who also is not ribboned, so took a big chunk there from the Fire 3. Thief's just responsible for defending us with a white shirt. White Mage going to keep us all well and good with a wall to stop other big AoEs from chunking our black belt. 4 hits, 264 with some crits, that's much better. Ooh, and time stop, or rather stop coming out and freezing to the characters, but thankfully the wall came out first, so the black belt was safe. Ooh, swirl. Ooh, alright. You don't want to see something else come out that kills the red mage, because that would be a Wiper Reno. Ink. Ink is a free turn. We'd love to see those. Alright, Carrie didn't have too much HP. The black belt got through with just a couple of rounds of punching. Yeah, gonna make use of the gratuitous amount of low-level healing charges on the white mage and save us some heal potioning, and then top the rest of the party off with heal pots.
Yeah, it always feels good when your white mage has just a ton of healing, so you don't have to use the heal pots as much. But it also feels really good when you get down to the bottom of Topher and you have like 8 heal pots left.
Yeah, we were talking about your lack of resources when you got to the...
So Darren is kind of half committing to some of these fights here, running away, and did not actually pick up level 32. Would have had to commit to more of the fights on the way here, so he's going to be going into Kraken with just 6 punches on the black belt. Little dicey. We'll have to see. He's going to need to get some defenses up so Kraken doesn't punch down the party, but between that and Viz 2 on the white mage and red mage, geez, and yeah, he should be able to stack up his evade and keep his most important characters safe. Yeah, it's actually been a while since I've seen a party that could 5-stack evade in 1 turn.
Yeah, when you have a defense sword, like a 32 black belt is a lot more viable because you can evade cap in 3 turns, and then you also have the power bonk. So it just makes it so much easier for your black belt to actually get its damage out without really getting hit down too hard.
Yep. And I would feel that level of safety if we were 32, but I think we're still 30 or 31.
Kraken still took out Kana? No.
Ooh, waiting? Oh, I don't like the wait there. You have things you can do with your characters. You've got to stack more evade. You got to throw out some healing. Use those charges for the greater good. Waiting is just begging to wipe.
And not healing up either as white mage or as red mage could be a big mistake.
Okay, he does get a Cure 4 off on the red mage. Thankfully, right in time to protect from this nuke. But
that was a double nuke out of Kraken.
Oh my goodness.
And Kraken has a ton of hit points. That was the biggest thing I had, because we had Fade, a couple of nukes, and a Masa swing, and she was still standing, so she was really tanky.
Yeah, so this is going to be a good fight for Darren to watch back, kind of reconsider what were the available tools and how could I have made this fight a little bit more of a slam dunk. Because, yeah, you have to respect not just the physical damage, but also the AoE magic, and keep those health totals high. But regardless, makes it through and pulls Tia 2, who we know rolled pretty low, about 800 HP. With the first turn nuclear, which Guda also saw, but didn't roll too hard on the red mage, so as long as the red mage is intact, we're in good shape.
Unfortunately, wastes a level 2 charge using that warp.
Oh yeah, miss menu. Dang.
I noticed that.
Alright, so really respecting the physical here. I'm going to switch to offensive strats now, and that'll pay out because we know Tiamat is not long for this world.
But he's making good use of the tools he has to get through here, though.
Alright, going to heal 3, kind of pick people up back off of 1 knee. Heal 3 is super effective. AoE healing spell can... Oof, white mage dies anyways, but heal 3 can counteract about half a nuclear on average, sometimes a little bit more. Thief contributes 1 hit 1 damage with the another 1 hit 1 damage with the coral sword, but the black belt finishes it out, 4 hits for 584.
Yeah, that coral sword is really, really good when it's early in the game. It's the best sword other than Amasa that the thief can wield.
Yeah, if I'm in Topher with sort of a throwaway thief, it's either white shirting, like Darren has been, or it's swinging around a coral or a dragon sword for that 20 crit rate with weapon fixes, so still respectable. You get your 4th hit with those swords as buffed thief around level 20. So, like, in a pinch, it's going to get a couple of crits in.
Isn't the rune sword also up there? Like a 20% crit rate somewhere in that?
Rune sword has half the crit rate of those other two and
Okay.
1 less point of attack power. Alright, so we got party rearranging happening for Darren. Moving around, making sure the equipment makes everyone as safe as possible. We got gold on the black belt and opal on the red mage. Could maybe switch those for a little extra safety, but this should be good enough.
And he probably could have tried to find one fight on the previous floor that has a ton of XP to try and get that black belt up to level 32. Because level 32 on Chaos is almost needed when you have a black belt as your main DPS.
Yeah, so if you're watching this one back, Darren, definitely consider that as your last minute strat. 32 is truly a power spike, and it can make Chaos just that much faster and that much safer. I think a sub 32 black belt. But wait, hang on, let's see who dies to Bane. Ooh, both of the mages. Alright, it's serious business time. This black belt's got to deal some DPS. 6 hits 94 with a crit. I don't love that. Yeah, power bonk a little bit. Oh, but see, look at that. Thief just contributed almost as much as the black belt with 4 hits for 74 and a crit.
Apparently, Chaos missed Evasion Day.
Yeah, but has been definitely tanking up on the absorb.
Yeah, he decided that he was going to put on a whole lot of extra armor because he knew that these light warriors were going to show up and try and punch him in the face. And he said, "Look at all this plate, boys."
Speaking of punch in the face, the thief goes down, and darindrise needs to bonk up to really secure this. Is he going to break through here? All right, triple digit damage. It's better than what we were getting. That was without a crit. 331 without a crit. I think we can get there. Okay, 201. Chaos didn't have a ton of HP. Maybe like slightly around or slightly above vanilla.
That's 605 helped.
And darindrise cleans it up, finishes the seed with a SRL time of 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 7 seconds. GG, and great to see that run end in a Chaos terminated.
Yeah, GG, Darren. Way to stick it out and play the game and, keep learning. Because that's really what Spring Tournament's about, is getting out here and playing against your friends and meeting new people and having a good time. And Darren and I were joking around a little bit this week, and I didn't know Darren very well prior to this, but we had some good fun in the Discord and a little gentle ribbing.
Yeah, and Darren's been a community contributor as well. Has been doing tracking, comms, and of course, Guda, yourself, you have the whole community is really coming together to make sure we've got all the resources and the staffing we need to put on as many matches as we have. Because heck, tonight we had 3 simultaneous matches plus an exhibition, so really just all hands on deck, and it's been great to see everyone helping out.
For sure, and Darren is also part of our Iron Goal Heavy Metal Championship, where this was actually also an Iron Goal match that we agreed to.
Cool. And
yeah.
I think we are joined in the booth by darindrise.
Hey, Darren, GG, man.
Hey, thank you. Good job, Guda.
Hey, thanks. That was a seed, man. Sailing everywhere.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was going to be floaterless or what, and I kind of got lost a little bit in the beginning and lost a bit of time, but looks like you took it pretty well.
It could have been floaterless because it was Opal and Power Bonk at Gaia and Lefane, so we could have gone floaterless if we wanted to, but I didn't.
Yeah, I was definitely going to check everything. I did not trust that rod was going to be an Earth, but of course it was.
Yeah, I did Earth very, very early, and then I go moded C because I'm like, I have 2 incentive items and all I need is a cube. And then I got really nervous when it was Opal and Bonk, and I'm like, oh, crud. Like, I missed the cube somewhere, and now I just lost the race. Luckily, cube was in Volcano, and it saved me a lot.
Yeah, I actually found cube first, and then got the loose item out of Earth. And then I was like, man, I think I might be way ahead, but, with you going to Earth early, that probably helped a whole lot.
Yeah, because I found the loose item in Earth, and then I'm like, all right, I got to see what the vampire has. I had Warp at level 2, which I actually forgot about for the first 15 minutes of the race, which was, I'm like, wait, I've had Warp? Oh, man. But I ground up on Whiz Vamps and Vampires to like 15 to start the game. Like, I was level 15 at probably 15 minutes in.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you two-man it with Thief and Red Mage, or?
I two-manned it with Black Belt Red Mage for a while, because I also found Masa in Earth. So yeah, I Black Belt Red Maged it for a little while through Earth, and then I started getting ambushed and had a rough time in Ice, so I brought the Thief back up, and then it was kind of a combination 2, 3, 4-man, depending on where I was.
Yeah, Darren, you'll have tons to learn from watching this back, both from contrasting the two runs and your different approaches, but also just there were some plays that you made that were like good if you just had a little extra something, like if you just had a few more levels, what you were trying would have paid out, those sorts of things. I think that the biggest one is that going to Earth was great, and picking up that loose item, just go one more floor and make sure you check the incentive chest so you know what's there and warp back out.
For sure. Yeah, when you have an incentive chest that's just right there and you don't find anything nasty in Earth, like you gotta power through, especially if you have Warp, because worst case scenario, you get down there, you find, I don't know, Thor's hammer, and you warp out and you go, all right, time to move on with my life.
Yeah, I think I was out of houses. I'd have to go back and watch, but I think I was out of houses and pretty much out of Warp, and I was like, I better just keep going.
Yeah, I think I went back to Melmond and got the inn, and then just cabined it. I bought like 30 cabins to start the game because they were cheap, and houses were ridiculously expensive.
Yeah,
So-
I'm
go
excited
ahead.
to watch it back. I knew I was gonna have to take some gambles, so it was a fun one though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you,
it was
you-
fun to cast, and the two of you put on a good show, especially with a draft where you have to take a black belt and sink that extra time into leveling. Guda, you got into Topher under an hour 30, so that's something you like to see on Earth Flags for sure.
Yeah, I got really thrown for a loop. I know Darren is a newer player. He's a duck, so when I was practicing, I'm like, all right, he's gonna take a fighter, and then I'm gonna go thief white mage, and then he's gonna pick whatever he wants, or I'll take a thief and he'll take whatever fighter black mage, and I'll take a white mage. So I was practicing like that, or with a thief lead. I had zero inkling that he was going to go black belt, and it really threw me for a loop because I don't practice black belt. I don't like black belt. So there you go. Anybody who races me next week, can we do a draft? Go with a black belt, and I'm going to get thrown for a loop again.
Yeah, I really liked that move in your draft, Darren. I'd seen you run this party once before. You were saying you were preparing for sort of a goofy draft, and when you last picked the black belt, and I knew it.
Yeah, I'd been practicing it. 2 hours was about my average, and I thought, if it threw you for a loop, 2 hours might be just good enough to beat you.
Yeah, like I said, I don't like black belts. The time sink, even though I love thief, which is also a time sink, but I usually stop with my thief at like 31, and I don't feel comfortable with a like low 30s black belt. I don't know why. I just don't.
Yeah, well, and I like this party too, just because you can go thief main and just have your black belt be a meat shield there if you get an early tail and you get an early floater, and you can just, promote right away, or if you know that it's going to be a while, you can focus on your black belt, but you've got a couple options for your melee.
Yeah, I actually really like this too because you have so many options to Dan. You can do black belt thief red, which I did for quite a while. You can, if white magic rolls well, you can use that as your main. Like it's a really interesting comp, and finding the early Masa, it pained me so bad to sell that katana. If you went into the shop, the katana was max price.
Oh wow, yeah, I wish I'd dug into Earth a bit more. That Masa would have made a big difference.
Yeah, you should have got the katana out of TOF because it was the first chest in the bottom left. But that basically set me up for the whole game, was selling that katana and getting like 32k. So that's we call that mono strats because mono would find like an Xcal or something really, really powerful for the end game, and he'd just go and sell it and then just walk through the whole seed because he started off with like 30k in money.
Yeah, it was a really good move. We were complimentary of it on stream, and definitely one to have in your tool belt if you know that you're worried about expensive shops, expensive magic, and so forth early. That said, we've gotten a great discussion in about the seed. It's going to be valuable info to watch back for both of you later. But we are at over 2 hours on our broadcast time, so we want to start wrapping up. I'm going to ask for final questions, or not questions, but final thoughts, and they could be in the form of a question for both of our runners. We'll start with you, darindrise.
Just thanks for both of you guys for commentating. Good job, Guda, and it's been a lot of fun. I can't wait. 4 more weeks of Swiss is going to be a lot of fun, and there's a lot of good runners all throughout the Swiss brackets at this point, so it's going to be a lot of good matchups coming up.
Thoughts from you, Guda?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. Cheese, Hangry Canuck doing double duty tonight. What a beast. Doing comms and tracking is absolutely amazing, and it's super, super tough. So hats off to him. Thanks to Speed Gaming Prime for putting us on the prime time match. This is fantastic, getting FFR out there. Come join the Discord. We are just getting started with Spring Tournament. We've got a lot of weeks left. So I'd like to see some new faces. We can get you out. We can get you in the duckling pond. We can get you racing. And you can get out and you can join our Iron Goal, which is an ongoing event that we have. And it's fun flags, and everybody just has a great time. So thanks for coming out. That's all I got for you, Cheese.
Fantastic. Well, it's been a pleasure to watch and cast both of you. Canuck, it's been a pleasure to cast the match with you.
Yeah, same here. GG to Guda and darindrise, and good luck next week in your matches, guys.
Thanks, Canuck.
And with that, we'll close it out. So Speed Gaming 5 right now, if you want to head over there. We've got one more Final Fantasy Randomizer match tonight that started about 45 minutes ago. Kiketsuki versus Kaosubulu, and that's happening Speed Gaming 5 again. If you want to watch tomorrow, tune in at 2 Eastern for Cyranus versus Gregglypuff on Speed Gaming 2. You can check out the rest of the